We have agreed. Niger coup leaders make U-turn after crucial meeting with top Islamic leaders. Wow, so they're beginning to break through in their negotiations. So the Niger coup leaders said they have agreed to negotiate with the Ecowas after the Islamic leaders have met with them. So let's see. It looks like there's green light toward the end of the tunnel with respect to negotiations. The coup leaders in the Niger Republic have agreed to open dialogue with the Economic Community of West African States over the current political situation in the country. This is based on the outcome of the negotiations between the coup leaders led by General Abdurrahman Tichani and delegations of Nigerian Islamic scholars led by the national leader of Jama'atu Izalati Bida wa Ikamatus Sunnah, Jibwis Sheikh Abdullahi Walalao. Can you imagine? As earlier reported by Niger News, the two groups met on Saturday in Niamey to discuss the political crisis in Niger Republic. Following the deliberations, Niger Republic Prime Minister Ali Mohamed Lamizane was quoted to have said General Tichani gave the green light for talks with Ecowas and was optimistic the talks with Ecowas will take place in the next few days. Wow. He also expressed optimism that the sanctions against the country would be lifted. We have agreed and the leader of our country has given the green light for dialogue. They will now go back and inform the Nigerian president what they have heard from us. We hope in the coming days, the ECOWAS will come here to meet with us to discuss how the sanctions imposed against us will be lifted, he said. Wow, so based on the Islamic movement, and I'm sure this Islamic movement is different from the one of the, what is his name? The one that former Emir of Kano, Sanusi, did. This is a different group. And they went now and they met with the Prime Minister, the new Prime Minister of Niger Republic. And from what they have discussed now, there's green light that the man is ready to discuss with them. Oh, wow. So that's a good one. That is a good one if they can discuss, because from what they're saying, people are already suffering in that place. Blessing is for the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Amen. But let all these evil Africans leaders stop rigging elections, because the youth will no longer take it. Somebody say, are you a Christian? That is not the issue. The issue is that he has made a good quote about peacemakers. This is good news, okay? But my concern has been the reasons behind our northern leaders championing this issue as if our entire life depends on it. I am convinced now that these Nigerians are part and parcel of the people counted as Nigerians. That swells the population of the north. If not, why are they throwing everything into it? Okay? If anything happens, northern Nigeria bear the major brunt of it all. It is even difficult to differentiate Niger from northerners. Should us now allow their backyard turn war zone? They don't want to. Okay, so what they say here, the northerners are championing the cause because this stuff is just right behind them. It's just right behind them. Okay, so it's just right behind them. So right now, it is There's a green light that they are going to discuss, and then, but their concern is not even how to hand over power. It is how to lift um, the what do they call it? The sanctions that have been placed on them. Okay, so it is a breaking news now that Niger coup leaders agreed to negotiate with Tinubu-led Ecowas. Now, wow, this is a good news anyway. Just hoping that everything will go well in that negotiation. The military junta in Niger Republic has reportedly opened for dialogue with the Economic Community of West African States. Okay, Politics in Nigeria also reports that the development comes after a team of Islamic scholars from Nigeria met with the junta leaders in Niamey. The scholars who were sent by Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reportedly convinced the junta to reconsider its position and open to negotiations with Ecowas. Ecowas had imposed sanctions on Niger after the coup and had wanted that it would use force if the junta did not reverse its actions. The junta had rejected the previous offer of dialogue from ECOWAS, but it appears to have been swayed by the interventions of the Nigerian Islamic scholars. In a statement, the leader of the Nigerian scholars, Sheikh Bola Lao, said that the junta leaders were pained that ECOWAS had not heard their side of the story before imposing sanctions. He said that the junta was now willing to talk to ECOWAS and to work towards a resolution of the crisis. The Prime Minister of Niger, Ali Mohamed Lamin Zain, confirmed that the junta had given the green light for talks with ECOWAS. He said that he hoped that the talks would take place in the next few days and that the sanctions will be lifted. We have agreed that the leader of our country has given the green light for dialogue. They will now go back and inform the Nigerian president what they have heard from us. We hope in the coming days, the ECOWAS will come here to meet with us to discuss how the sanctions imposed against us will be lifted, he said. So the consensus is the sanction, but I just hope that these people know what they are doing, because I am sure by the time they hand over power, the next thing they are going to do is actually to find a way to dispose them. I'm sure that is what is going to happen. So they really need to be very careful. So obviously France shouldn't be allowed to have access anymore to Niger's resources. Simple. That is what they want. They don't want France to have access to their resources so that they can run themselves. Yes, I agree, my friend. I agree with you, with your view that all those Western parasites that consumes our African resources should keep off from our wealthy continent. And Niger should not play with reputations by agreeing with flimsy excuse of ECOWAS. They stand firm on the divinity of their country and its people. Bam, go and sit down. That is what they want. This is good to hear. Kudos to ECOWAS, kudos to Nigerian president. Well done, Niger junta. Can you imagine? This one is just, crises are now prevailing. Open and close matter. Return the legal government kaput, Abi. So what do you call legal government? The government that benefits France rather than the Nigerians? That is going to end. The owners of the North have proven their worth as the ambassadors of peace, and bless them all. Africa unite. Africans should unite under corrupt leaders, Abi, right? Last, African youth go get sense. So that is what is happening here. The Niger coup junta has agreed to meet with them. So the next thing to set the date and when they are going to go and meet with ECOWAS. When ECOWAS will go there to meet with them, and then they will discuss how their sanctions will be lifted. But I am sure they will sign an agreement, but that president will have to do what they want, otherwise the coup will take place again. But I'm sure they will put a different person, not that one, because that one is a French puppet. They The French will still use the one that is they just disposed, that Mohamed Bazoum, to continue to exploit Niger Republic. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment in this progress that they have made in terms of readiness for negotiation.